That's total cold opening. That was awesome. Welcome to Chirping Bird Comedy, everybody. We are running late, and I'm not pointing fingers at anybody in particular on this one, even though somebody's been trying to get me to do that. I do want to thank the people that have been here the earliest. I'm trying to remember who that was. I think Mike Eckert might have been the second in line behind first place William Claude Reynolds. William Claude Reynolds always coming in early, sticking around for the long haul, and visiting our Chirping Bird performers when they come through his town. When they come through DC and Maryland, he goes and he sees them live. So yeah, why don't you guys all come see me in Chicago? Then Aaron would have to book me on his show again. That's why I want you to come to Chicago. I mean, Aaron could be on the same show. I do this. I introduce Aaron every time I see him, and I plug his show. And I always complain about not getting booked on it, but he does book me on it. So I just act like I should be on it every week. And people really think we hate each other. We don't hate each other. I think his show's a good guy. I think it would be better if I was on it every month. I think it would be better. I think that's a fact. It would be funnier at least.
Looking like a true comic.
It would be funnier. Yeah, this is. I'm getting debooked. He's bumping me back another 6 months from the next time I could be on his show. Now, Aaron McDavis is back tonight. I'm happy to have him on the show tonight. He runs a show every third Sunday at guess where? No, it's not at Lincoln Lodge. It's not at Lincoln Lodge. I know I almost led you to that. It's at the D Men Tap. It's at the Donnerman Tap. It is a metal German currywurst Dungeons and Dragons that is 2 blocks from my house. 2 blocks. It's one of the closest. It's the second closest place to my house I could drink. Probably no, maybe third closest. I don't know. There's a lot of bars in my area. There's definitely a lot of drinking in my area, but they have good food. They have a back room with video games, and then once a month, Aaron invites a bunch of people to do dark comedy. Dark comedy is in like sad and about death and stuff. He's like, every time I've seen someone go on his show, and I'll see comedians that I know, no one has to change their set. That's just everybody. That's just what comedians are doing now in Chicago. It's just very dark material. No one's ever coming in there chipper like we are on Chirping Bird, right? We are not sad at all. No, we are really concerned about Jinda, though. I am going to say that we are concerned about Jinda. I'm putting out friend requests to him on Facebook. We're trying to find out what country he's even in at this point. It might be Malaysia. It might be back in Brooklyn. Don't really know where he is or why he is not here, but it is a little bit concerning. It is a little bit concerning. Throw in the Bulls game, and you want to go to a Bulls game? Question mark. Then you'll go.
Yeah.
All right. The question mark is going to come to the Bulls game, and then we will drive him. We will drive him nuts is what we'll do. We'll drive him to D-Men Tap, and Aaron will book me on the show. No, I'm going to stop doing that.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
So I don't know if you saw this election. That was really fucking annoying, right? It was just not good. There's nothing good that happened in America this week. I'm talking about the American presidential election. For those of you who are paying attention, that was really wild. Some of my coworkers were talking about it. Some of them are depressed. I know some people that are trans that do not feel safe. Some women do not feel safe with the results of the presidential election, and some people are looking for ways to arm themselves. I think, I mean, there is the hope that I don't think Trump is doing too healthy. He did a little cocaine on Tuesday, and that's going to take him out in the long run. I'm just telling you, there's no way he withheld from doing cocaine on Tuesday, especially if he's hanging out with Elon Musk. And that's why I'm happy. There's no way those two dudes are still friends by the time he logs. By the time there's no way people with that big of egos, with that big of different views on drug usage, they're both fathering a lot of kids with a lot of different ladies. That's all they have in common at this point. One's naming their kid Baron, one's naming their kid what you get out of the alphabet soup, and then just naming their kid that, which I think it's cool that you can name yourself whatever the fuck you want. You can change your name. That is awesome. You should do that. You should change your name to question mark with 2 question marks after it. That's totally fine. Legally, that's your name. Just don't do that to somebody else. Don't name your fucking kid something stupid like that. Give your kid a normal fucking name and then let them change their name to WTF question mark, question mark, question mark. Who cares? That is fine. But a baby doesn't know how to pronounce his name. You just don't do that to your kids. Yes, Elon Musk is abusing his child and he's abusing all of us by taking over. If you still have Twitter, just completely taking over your timeline there too. You cannot opt out of it. You can't even block him anymore. You can't block anyone on Twitter. They're doing away with that. What you can do is unmute yourself though for the comedians performing tonight. Laughing Larry is talking about Jen. Oh my God, Laughing Larry AI is just writing premises now with no jokes. He's stealing everything from me. He's stealing all of my bits, which are just setups and no jokes. How hard is quitting Twitter? I don't know. I don't know. I think what happened is like I'm signed in on my phone, but I think to actually like delete it, you have to like re-sign in, and I like refuse to do that. So I just need to like delete it off my phone, and my account will be there forever. But I don't think it's hard to quit Twitter. I don't think so. I'm gonna start my own Chirping Bird social. We're gonna for the real patriots. Last week we had all the true patriots on. The outcome of the election did not go how I wanted. I think it's crazy though. I know people talk about. I know Aaron might talk about it later. The assassination attempts on former president and president-elect. The Biden sandwich that Trump made for America, with Biden in the middle and Trump is the buns. That's what we're dealing with. It's only happened one time before in American history that somebody had a gap year. 4 years ago, absolutely insane, and then come back even worse. Only happened once before. But I don't know. Some people think it was something. Some people think it was a publicity stunt. Some people think that he faked it to get sympathy and to show that he was not a true political DC insider and that the deep state wanted to take him out. And I normally don't believe in conspiracies, but I do know that I got my cartilage in my ear pierced at Claire's in the mall when I was 18 years old with a piercing gun, and it bled longer than his ear bled. So I don't know if a bullet does more damage than an ear piercing, but that's what we're finding out. Walking on sand is difficult. Is that a penis? So also, tip for our performers, including Larry and Aaron, who are here so far. Larry Fulford's coming up in a second. Even if Jinda's not here, try not to read the chat too much while you're performing. It's never helpful. I'm being completely serious. I've never read the chat and went, "Oh, I'm glad I read that in the middle of my fucking set." I'm glad I've never done it.
Penis jokes.
The penis. I mean, every once in a while. What I will say is sometimes the chat is more art than comedy. Sometimes I've copied and pasted haikus from Jinda, and I've sent them to Judah when he wasn't on the show, and he's just like, "Oh, beautiful, beautiful." He's like, "Make a book of these one of these days." So we do need to find Jinda so I could get him to sign the release for the book. Thank you for the Jinda penis. That's a very nice. I feel like we're acting like he died. I feel like this is a memorial.
He might have died and gone to heaven.
Around a 40.
Okay. Then guess who's going to be back? The guy who has the 30-minute special on the elections. Pratik Srivastava is going to be returning again tonight.
Yay!
I checked out his special. I did right. You know what? I mixed it up. I listened and watched his special on the way home from work. And it was very nice. It was very good. I watched it on the way home from work on election night. Don't do that. Don't watch your friend's set and then enjoy the hell out of it and then have the worst night in the last 4 years live right after that, because I never even messaged Pratik and told him that I enjoyed it. William Claude Reynolds, I think you were at that recording. Was that the recording you were at?
Yeah,
like, at
the barbecue place. Yeah,
it was like Fat Pete's Barbecue or something, Fat Phil's or something.
Fat Pete's Barbecue, which has great barbecue that I couldn't eat because it's a long story, but
why did you go to a barbecue place for comedy and then you couldn't eat the barbecue? What was wrong with it? You have to tell me.
Okay, the barbecue is fine, but okay, so there was a girl I was supposed to hook up with. Oh, like, but she lived out in the suburbs. Like, well, I live in the suburbs too, but like opposite side suburbs. I live in Prince George's County. She lives up in Germantown, which is like literally on the opposite side of DC.
Okay.
So we were supposed to hook up, so didn't eat any barbecue for obvious reasons.
Oh no. Oh no. He went to the barbecue place on a date and it did not work out, even though, you know what? Did you and your date brush Pratik's beard for good luck? That is
no, well, it wasn't a date. We were supposed to get together after the comedy show.
Yeah.
But I drove to her place. When I got there, she was already asleep.
Oh no. Oh. You know what? You know who's to blame for that? That is 100% Pratik's fault. He ran that set way too long. That special was probably only supposed to be 30 minutes and he probably did an hour and a half. You could blame Pratik for running the light on why she fell asleep. That is what I would do. I'll let you talk to him about that later tonight. No, I do want to get it started. I want to get this started. Pratik is here. Larry is here. Aaron McDavis is here. I'm here. You're here. We're all here. Okay, we're going to do this. Who's texting? This is so distracting. I got a Fitbit this last weekend. I got a Fitbit watch. And I didn't know that I didn't even set it up, but now the texts to my phone vibrate my wrist and it's so fucking distracting. You need to turn that off. So that's just what happened there. I got a text from somebody, but no, first comedian. Super happy to have him back. I don't know if you knew this, but he created an interactive stand-up show called What Do You Want From Us? That's the name of the show. Pretty fucking cool. I'll post his Venmo. I do like when people name comedy shows or podcasts or anything, something that you could like yell out in anger or like just seems like you have to explain to people, but like in writing, you put quotes around it, but you can't put quotes around, when you're saying it to people. But check out, if you can, what do you want from us? Okay, I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to post his Venmo in the chat as always. If you like what you hear or see, or even if you hate it, you could pay people to go away, or you could pay that. Just put it in the note. Just be like, here's $400. Don't come back for 2 months. Or be like, here, I liked what I saw. Here's $2. All of those are acceptable. We're totally fine taking that. But yeah, please welcome back to Chirping Bird, the very funny Larry Fulford.
Hey, hello. All of that is true. $2 if you like what you hear, $30 if you love what you hear, $5,000 if you never want to see me again. $8,000, I'll throw my fucking laptop into the ocean. I don't care. Just money in the thing. It's dope to be on the show with Mark and Aaron and Pratik. It's in Chicago. I met these guys when I lived in Chicago, so I'm dusting off a couple old Chicago bits and just some jokes I wrote in Chicago, if that's okay.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm here for
You love what?
I love that you're doing this. Sorry,
We'll see. And if you love it, Mark, donate to my Venmo. You guys can this little bit is not Chicago centric. You can all participate in this. I'm not going to be looking at the chat because Mark told me not to. But I grew up in like the 80s and 90s. So if you did as well, or even if you didn't, what games did you play when you were little kids? You can post all that. Have fun with that. What was your favorite game? Super Mario Brothers, Pong. If you're old, post all that shit over there. I will tell you while you're posting that, my favorite game, because I was, poor, was when I was a little kid, like 5 or 6 years old, the game that I like to play is I would just stare at the sun. For several minutes. And when you look at a light, it doesn't have to be the sun, it can be that light. And then you turn and you blink and you see that big red splotch. My game is I would stare at the sun forever and then blink at strangers, pretending I could explode them. That was it. That was the game. That was the game. As you might imagine, I was, what's that word? An only child. I was an only... After I blew up my brother and sister, I was an only child. After that... All right, Chicago-centric jokes. I moved to Chicago 2016 to be a stand-up comedian, which means I was a dog walker. That's what I was. I was a walker of dogs. That's what you do. Those guys might know. I don't know what they might have careers. I did not. I walked dogs, and if I'm being honest, liked it more than comedy. It was fucking amazing. This shit, I could take or leave. Walking dogs for a living, the best living. Oh, I fucking loved it. And racked up some stories, and this is probably one of my favorite stories. I was walking a dog in kind of a wealthy neighborhood because only wealthy people can afford dog walkers, and I was walking this dog past this house, and as I was approaching this house, out of my peripheral, I caught this father and son kind of trot out of the house holding a baseball mitt and a baseball because they were going to go to the yard and play him a little game of catch. And I was like, that is fucking, I've only seen that in TV. My dad spent my childhood in prison. I don't know what a catch looks like in real life. And I was like, oh, that's so cool, you know? And I kind of like nodded, and I walked past that family. And right after I got past them, I heard the dad say to the son, don't you look at them, look at me. And I was like, wow, yikes. And I turned around, and I said to the dad, hey, Pop, hey, it's not our fault that me and this dog are far more interesting than trying to make up for lost time. And then he said, because rich people don't have snappy comebacks, what did you say? And I said, I hope your son grows up to be a cellist. And then I just turned around, and over my shoulder, all of this is true, I heard the little boy go, what is a cellist? So that seed has been planted. That's how you change fucking lives. Other Chicago. So I moved to Chicago. I was born and raised in Florida. So before I moved to Chicago, I had only lived in like duplexes and trailers. When I got to Chicago, I lived in my first honest to goodness apartment. Like, wasn't the best, but it was my first apartment where like everybody lives right next door to each other. And as luck have it, I moved right next door to like the quintessential American family. It was like this handsome, just beautiful white blonde husband. He had this like beautiful white blonde wife. He was here, she was like here. They had this adorable like white blonde, I don't know, like 7-8-year-old daughter. And then they had a golden retriever named Butter. It was just a fucking creamsicle American family, top to bottom, step to step. And they lived right next door to me, and we didn't really interact very much. But then one day I was just in my apartment by myself, and I heard this verbal altercation taking place in the courtyard. This won't surprise any of you. At the time, I couldn't afford a TV, so I was on board. I was on board with any altercation. Keep that shit up. I like crawled over to the window and peeked out into the courtyard. And here's what I saw. I saw that family and a lady I didn't recognize. And I'm just going to share what I learned. So that family had gone on vacation for a couple of months. They hired that lady to house sit and pet sit the dog. While they were gone, the dog died.
Oh, gee.
And what that lady did was freak out and then just go find another golden retriever from a shelter or wherever you make those, and then just shoehorn it into their lives while they were still away, just like hoping they wouldn't notice. And they didn't.
Oh my God.
Like weeks. I don't know what tipped him off. I don't know if the dad was like, is there a little bit more white on the tail? I don't know what fucking tipped him off. But what I was watching unfold in real life in real time was them confront this woman, and I don't give a shit. It was better than Breaking Bad. It was better than Game of Thrones. It was better than Better Call Saul. It was just amazing courtyard drama because they were all their own characters, you know? Like the mom was like screaming. She was like, you bitch, I've known you since high school. You could have just been honest with us. She was amazing. The little girl was outside. Why? First of all, why? Why? But she was great too, because she was just tugging at her dad's shirt going, Daddy, what's death? And the dad was my favorite character. He was the most relatable to me because he was just staring there quietly, watching it all unfold. And then he finally opened his mouth to go, man, I can't believe it's not butter. Oh, did Larry make up that whole story? You betcha he did. I'm a magician in addition to being a comedian. Oh God, that story, and this is true, on tour in Michigan, made a lady in the audience cry before they spoke. Oh, bullshit. So,
Oh my God.
that's what we do, changing lives. This happened. Actually, this happened. This is weird. This happened on the way to that Michigan tour. I used to go on the road a bit for stand-up. And this took me across the great state of Indiana, or as I like to refer to it, the Florida of the Midwest. And I got to like a county in Indiana called Jasper County. And I'll remember that forever because what welcomes you to Jasper County, at least when you're going that way, is this huge white billboard. And then in solid bold black letters, it says Jasper County. Sloppy manure capital of Indiana. And I was like, first of all, I thought all of Indiana was the sloppy manure capital of Indiana. But they have one. They have one county. It's the sloppy manure capital. And then I was thinking, like, really, Jasper County? Only sloppy manure? Come on, come on. Expand, broaden your horizons. What about like pristine manure, huh? Don't you want? No, you just want to corner the market on sloppy. Okay, that's fine. And I get it, you guys. That's not that funny. That's just the setup to say this. It's okay to just be quietly proud of something. You don't have to go putting all your shit on like Facebook and billboards and Twitter. You can just be like quietly proud in your heart. You don't have to fucking wave a big old fucking Confederate flag. Just know you're a piece of manure in your heart. That's okay. Like, for instance, here's a personal example, okay? As far as I know, I'm the only member in my circle of friends who once upon a time, I pissed myself while waiting for my food at a Wendy's drive-thru window. It was late. I was drunk. You don't need to know the rest of it, but it happened. And I'm pretty sure I'm the only person in my group of friends to do that. But I didn't wake up the next morning and rush out and buy a t-shirt and puffy paint and make a shirt that was like, Larry Fulford pissing himself in a Wendy's drive-thru window while waiting for his food, capital of his friends. No, I just knew that's something I'm good at in my heart. All right. Segway billboards? Okay, cool. Traveled a lot. I've seen most, if not all, of this great continental U.S., seen a lot of billboards. My favorite, I think, is in Indiana, is the big Hell billboard. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh. My favorite billboard, like 15 years running now, is in Middle Georgia. Somebody sharing their favorite billboard, do it quietly in the chat.
I'm trying to get that.
Quietly proud of your favorite billboard. Middle East, never been there. No, Middle Georgia. There's a billboard in like central Georgia, and I'm just going to describe it. So it's a huge billboard, and I almost called this art. It's probably not art. It's like a painting or a print, and it's like it's armed soldiers. It's some tanks. It's some Apache helicopters, and behind all of that, fire, and then above all of that, Jesus. And above Jesus's head, it says, and I quote, I'm still in control. Jesus.
God. Wow.
And I took that in at like 80 miles an hour, and I was like, who are you trying to kid, bud? Like, that's like, look down at your own billboard. You've let some shit get out of hand, you know, like that. Pay attention to your own fucking billboard. And it wasn't, and I feel like this is important. It wasn't like a mighty Jesus, like I'm still in control, Jesus. It was the Jesus we're used to. It was this Jesus. kind of looking down. And it just, in that context, it looked like he was just like giving up. It was like, I'm still in. Oh, fuck it. Good luck, fuckers. Like, it just looked like lazy Jesus. And it was for a website. You probably don't go here. It's probably going to damage your computer with some sort of virus. But for a website called iwillbeback.org. You know, like the Terminator. That's the Terminator. And Terminator Christ, yes, that's a sick DJ name. It's not what I'm looking for in a fucking Lord and Savior, though. Like, I want like huggable Christ. I don't want Terminator Christ. I want I can trust you Christ. But it was iwillbeback.org. Oh, I'm sorry. I actually fucked that up. It was I-will-be-back.org. So you know what Jesus ain't in control of, apparently? Available fucking domain names. Hey. And I just wanted to dust that joke off because I was just on that highway a few months back. Happy to announce, billboard's still there. Website has been updated. I-will-be-back-soon. Which means, like, best I can figure, like, the people behind the masterminds behind that website were like, wow, these have been up for like 20 years. I bet people are starting to figure out he ain't coming. What should we do? And they were just like, let's just add soon for reassurance. Like, we're all just on Earth fucking hanging out at Chili's waiting for Jesus. Like, Jesus, where you at, bro? And he's like, oh, soon. The next update is going to be like, soon, -I-promise. I also noticed this time around that I hadn't noticed before. That's one of a series of billboards in Georgia. The other one, and maybe I build this into a bigger joke. The other one, it's a human guy hanging on to a cliff, and Jesus is like behind him like this, and Jesus says, "Let go, I'll catch you." No, you won't. I know how ghosts work. Don't fucking fall for that, dude. You keep clinging to that cliff. Hang in there. 14. I'll leave you guys with this. I've been doing comedy for way too long. Way too long. It doesn't matter. But 13 unlucky years. But
like more.
Good news. Yeah, you can. That's cool. That's more than I got from my own father. So that quiet little that's good. But I'm happy to announce, and this has happened since my last appearance on the show, I finally got recognized in public. So, yeah, thank you. Yeah. I was hanging out at a bar alone, like I do, and I was sitting at the bar, and I looked over into the doorway, and this beautiful lady was just standing in this doorway of this bar, just staring at me.
Shit.
Shit, indeed. Shit. I was like, wow, I guess I got a drink cooler. That doesn't happen to me. I know you're shocked. And then she started floating like an angel across this bar towards me. And I was like, oh, I get it. This is the part of like the cheesy 90s comedy where you're like, oh, she's going to talk to the schlubby fucking dork. And then she just passes like right past him to like hang out with her much cooler friends or something. Nope, not that wonderful night. I started this story with I got recognized in public.
Yeah.
She got right up to me, super close, way close. And she said, hey, you're my dad's friend, aren't you? Chirping Bird, I was their dad's. His name was Ron. 10 years prior, we worked in IT together when she was like, I don't fucking know how old she was, what she been, I don't know. Who the fuck knows anymore? I don't know. I was just like, yes, I am your dad's friend. That's cool. That's awesome. And then it occurred to me, I was like, man, life. I think Ferris Bueller said it best. It just, if you're not careful, what did he say? Smell the roses? What the horse shit did Ferris Bueller say? It just flies by. Like 1 minute, You're doing shit like keg stands and drugs that people made for you. And then the next minute, you're doing things like bookmarking weather.com. You guys have been absolutely lovely. Thank you so much. I hope we're all okay in America. Good night.
Yeah, one more time for Larry Bulford. I posted his Venmo. I think everybody liked it, so you can give him some money now.
$2.
Donate the money to him. That was awesome. There were so many topics covered there. I do want to point out that you listed out the website, and everybody watching right here is on their computer. And I know that Jinda would have been brave enough to check out that website and report back to us. I'm not going to do that because if it bricks this laptop, the show ends if I get flooded with pop-ups about Jesus and stuff. You know, like we're not gonna keep going on. I remember, Larry, you worked in IT. I'll tell you an IT story about going to the wrong website. It was really funny. This was my first job. I was like, I don't know, 25 years old, 26 years old. I was working at a company as a developer, and there was a senior engineer was showing me the documentation for a library that we were using in a website we were building out, a graphing library. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but he's like, hold on. He's like, I can't remember if it's .com or .net, but one of them you don't want to go to. And I'm like, okay, well, roll the dice. And he's like, it's definitely .net or .com. And I'm like, okay. And then he went to like graph whatever .com. And then like what came onto the screen was like comedically pornographic. It wasn't just like a regular site. Like it was like somebody bought the domain name to trick all the developers that were trying to look for the documentation. It was just like a butt and like just like a dildo like that. Not going in, it was like an animation. It wasn't like an actual thing. It was just like an offensive animation. And right when he did that, he goes, oh shit. His boss walked by and went, Darren, what are you doing? And I'm like, did this happen before? And he's like, yes. I'm like, oh my God, stop, just block that site. What are you doing, man? All right. But yeah, it was never went to that site again. It was very comedic. You were talking about, I like that you said you upgraded when you moved to Chicago and got like a regular apartment, as if the apartments in Chicago are not complete shithole. I just want to point out, like I've had some shithole apartments. I lived in Uptown when I was in college. I moved to the wonderful neighborhood of Uptown. Aaron runs a comedy show in the town. I think Aaron works in Uptown as well. So Aaron works right in my old neighborhood. Our next comedian does. But it was cool. My apartment there had a laundryman. I don't know if you know what that is. That's a guy that just sleeps on a cot in your laundry room. He's not a super. He just gives the landlord like $20 a week or something like that. I had one of those. That guy was really weird. My favorite thing was the friendly neighborhood drug dealers. They were incredibly friendly, incredibly pushy. I would always have to park my car a block away because I didn't pay for a garage spot. So I had to park a block away every time I came home at night. And there'd always be this one drug dealer that would just walk up to you, ask you if you wanted to buy cocaine or crack. But even if you said cocaine, it was going to be crack. There was no cocaine. Always crack. And I'd always be like, no, man, no, I just drink. No, you know. And he would walk me to my apartment every single time he would catch me outside. He'd walk me all the way. And I'm like, I know you know where I live, but like, okay, cool. But like we developed a friendship even. And one time he was like, look, man, he's like, this one time, can you just pretend to buy some drugs off of me? Because people are watching. I'm like, I'm not lying for your performance review with your boss. I'm not, I know annual reviews are coming up. I know you're looking for that big raise, but I'm not going to do exactly what you can't say to a judge is that you were pretending to buy drugs from the drug dealer to help him out with his boss. So never did that. Moved out of there. It was a great 6 months of my life. That's as long as I stayed in that place. It was great. There was a lot more to that, but I'm going to get our next comedian up. I'm super happy to have him on the show. Like I said, he runs a show called The Graveyard Shift at the D-Men Tap every third Sundays in Chicago. If you make it into Chicago on a third Sunday, check it out and let me know. I'll meet you there. I'll go there too. I'll do what I always do is go there and pretend I was booked on the show. If you bring 3 audience members to a show, producers sometimes will let you on the show. I'm just pointing that out. That's he's gonna just leave this show is what he's gonna do. Sorry, this is just inside jokes between me and Aaron. But please welcome back to the show the wonderful Aaron McDavid.
Hello. Good to be back. Just to make a note, he's been on the show twice. Every time he has asked me on the show, I put him on the show. So oh my god. Yeah, it's good to be back here. I'll talk a little bit about the election. I'm strongly against it. In case anyone's wondering, but I like to kind of think about early on in the year, when Mark was talking about the the assassination attempts of Trump,
yeah.
which is kind of a sad sentence. It's like a short, like the saddest short story. Assassination attempts, but yeah, it was like twice, right? He got shot at twice, and it was two young white guys. And I'm not trying to diss this generation, but I grew up during when the Columbine shootings were happening. So, I'm just saying back in my day, white guys were better shots. So, yeah, and I remember when that happened the first time. Yeah, there was a lot of conspiracy about what happened. Was this an inside job? Were the was this staged and stuff like that? And it was all that just to say that the Secret Service just was bad at their job. Which and I'm like, why is it always a conspiracy theory when a few white guys screw up at their jobs? Because if it was an all black or just a few women on that Secret Service and that happened, people would just be like, well, that's what DEI gets you. You don't have to mercy laugh, but I'm just
Mercy.
I'm TED talking right now. Yeah, so I live in Chicago right now. I'm originally from the South. I grew up, in Alabama and Tennessee, all that stuff. Yeah. I love how that's the punchline. I grew up in Alabama. If comedy doesn't work, it might not. I can always go back home. Alabama and Texas, they're part of the Bible Belt. So I can start my own store with Bibles and belts, and but sell it convenient price. I'm gonna call it Jesus Saves. The commercial will be like, come on down to Jesus Saves. We got low prices, but high praises. Yeah. One of the things I miss about home is just the Southern cooking, because I grew up on Texas barbecue, Southern soul food and all that stuff. This is the best compliment you can give anybody on their food back home. You say it was so good, make you want to smack your mama. Yeah, it's a hell of an appetite to have, right? Yeah. Make you want to smack your mama. Yeah. It's like they're trying to say, hey, try these ribs. They'll turn you into your father. Yeah. So I bounced around the South as I was a kid. So I've lived in Alabama, Texas, Mississippi, and all that stuff. So has anybody been to San Antonio, Texas at all? All right. Yeah. I'm seeing people kind of waving. Yeah. Yeah. So a little bit of history about San Antonio. It's the location of the battle site, the Alamo.
Mm.
Yeah, Alamo is a famous battle site in Texas. Back when Texas used to be part of Mexico, they rebelled and wanted to be their own country. So back then, there was a famous battle called the Battle of the Alamo. Virtually 300 Texas soldiers fought against about 1,500 Mexican soldiers. and they fought them for like 3 days. And eventually they were defeated and they were executed, but they became these these iconic martyrs for the Texas Rebellion. And that's how we got that slogan, "Remember the Alamo." As in, like, remember this brave and noble sacrifice that these soldiers gave us to free us from Mexican grips. Yeah. And I guess that's a strong slogan back there still in San Antonio, a city that is 60% Mexican. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a different spirit, though. It's kind of like, everybody's like, hey, y'all remember the Alamo? Oh, good times. Good times. Buenos tiempos. Yo. Yeah, so I turned 39 this year. I'll be 40 in June next year. I start thinking about what I'm going to do when I'm officially middle-aged. I think I'm going to do that middle-age crisis thing, which is start a cover band. Yeah. I think I'm going to have a cover band that's inspired by the dead Kennedys and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Yeah, dead Kennedys and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I'm going to call it Y'all Missed One.
Oh,
Yeah. Hey, I run a dark comedy show. This is what
I tried to introduce you with that for the reason.
I gotta live up to my brand. So I'm 39 now. My mom's been calling me up, and she really wants me to settle down and have kids. And she's trying to do it like all like slick though. She's like, guess what, Aaron? I'm like, what? She's like, I'm ready to be a grandma. I'm like, all right, go do that. I can't see what happens. And then she's like, no. I think you'd make a very good father. I honestly do. You'd make a very good father. Then I got to remind her how my father was with me and how much I take that trauma out on my Alexa. Yeah. I treat it the same way my father treated me. I'm just, getting pissed at it for no reason. I'm like, God damn it, Alexa. What is the weather? She's like, sorry, I didn't hear that. I'm like, yes, you did. Don't make me come over there. Sometimes I get so mad I just say her whole name out loud. She's like, Alexa, Echo, Spot. Yeah, I come from a religious family. My mom likes to call me up on Sundays and then talk to me and give me advice from the Bible, or as we call it back home, the good book. Yeah, she's always like the good book says, judge not lest ye be judged, or like the good book says, he who was without sin cast the first stone. And I kind of want to do the same thing with books that I read, but it's not going to come out the same way. My good books are a little different. I can't be like the good book says, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. Mm-hmm. He ain't lying. He ain't lying. This has been a wild year. This has been a wild year. I remember earlier on they came out with the Epstein list. Anybody read that list? Some of y'all? Yeah. Anybody on it? Let me scroll through and see who's waving. I don't know. Who got call services on? Okay. Yeah, I remember I read it, and I'm just looking at the list and the names on there. It's crazy. Like folks you didn't even think about would be on that list. Like Kate Blanchett is on that list. Yeah, Kate Blanchett. The model from the 90s, Naomi Campbell, is on that list. Who else is on that? Stephen Hawking is on that list, which it's impressive for him. And then also Chris Tucker is on the list. Yeah, Chris, that's a crazy variety right there. like I didn't know if someone asked you describe Epstein Island in 3 words, you could just say diversity, equity, inclusion. I know you could do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm glad. I really am glad I'm doing comedy because I've had way worse jobs. Like I used to work at a grocery store. Yeah, a grocery store where I actually had to help a lady, older lady, find some Raisin Bran. And on the way there, we were talking, and she mentioned that she that day was like the 3rd year anniversary of her husband's passing.
Oh.
Yeah, very sad story. Then we get to the Raisin Bran, and she points to it, and then she goes, "This is what gets me through those tough times." And I was like, did I just walk into like the saddest commercial for a breakfast cereal? Like Raisin Bran for those tough times. I never saw that one. But we kept talking. She like basically that was his favorite cereal, Raisin Bran. So she was eating it, in his memory, which is that's pretty sweet. That's sweet. But what was the funeral like? Like, was she just like ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and 2 scoops? Was she doing that? Yeah, but I really do like doing comedy because it's a different form of entertainment than other places. Like you might hear Mark do this tonight, but like this is common where like near the end of a comedy show, the host will be like, "All right, we got 2 more comics for you, or we got one more comic for you left. Let's keep it going for them. Let's show them some energies. Let's show them some love." And that's excellent. I love that part because no other form of entertainment has to do that. Like, no one's going to a strip club and then hearing the DJ go, "All right, we got 2 more strippers for you guys. Let's show them some love. Let's show them some energy." Yeah. Next one up is Diamond. She's a friend of the room. She's trying some new stuff out. Let's show some support. Yeah, I do talk about like some gloom and doom stuff a lot, but I did see something that warmed my heart up like a week or 2 ago. Yeah, about a week ago. I was just walking down Chicago downtown, and I saw a pigeon swoop down and smack into a window.
Oof.
And I laughed for like 10 minutes. Oh God, that was great. And the pigeon was fine. It was okay. It got back up and started walking away like nothing bad was happening, right? And I just kept roasting it the whole time, like, I saw that shit, pigeon. I saw that shit. Yeah. Then a couple seconds later, this group walks by. They miss the whole beauty of the pigeon smacking into the window. Like, missed that. What they did catch was some random black dude in a hoodie just screaming at a bird on the street, pointing at it, like, "I saw that shit, pigeon. I saw that shit." Like it owed me money or something. Like give my $350 back. Oh gosh. I'm sorry, Mike. What's my time right now?
Oh, you do as much as you want. You're good.
I'm good. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I live in Chicago, and my area uptown, it's got a lot of character. It's got a lot of character. By that, I mean it's got a lot of 3-legged dogs. Not my fault. That's society. The man 3-legged. They can't afford all 4. So, we're cutting corners anywhere we can. But everyone loves 3-legged dogs so much. Like they're petting them on the street, they're cuddling them, they're feeding them right there. Like the dog definitely loves it. They love 3-legged dogs more than they love disabled homeless vets. They really do. I feel like we should give disabled vets three-legged dogs. People would treat them a lot better. They really could. Just, you'll just have them there and then like give the dog a cute sign. Something like, please help. Times are rough, something like that. Try to put a wolf over my head. Something adorable like that. Yeah. I love my area. The first time I moved into Uptown, I went to the local McDonald's, and that McDonald's had a spray of bullet holes in their windows.
Oh yeah, I know that McDonald's.
You know that McDonald's. See, this is not me making shit up. It's a huge spray of bullet holes in their windows. But side note, that McDonald's, best customer service. Yeah, just they're a little bit more motivated. Like, you walk in, they're just like, their slogan is, "Hey, McDonald's understands that this drive-through can turn into a drive-by." Yeah. Yeah, this is a really fun job. Like, I get to meet a bunch of people. I get to just travel a lot. I actually went to Edinburgh, Scotland one time for to do comedy. I did the Fringe Fest there, and I love Scotland. It's so fun. And then when I was out there, my mom and dad showed up surprisingly, and they supported all my shows there, and that was great of them. I really enjoyed that. Then we spent some time together in Edinburgh, and that was a mistake. That was a huge mistake. I should not have done that. Like one of the most embarrassing moments out there with them was like, we went to a diner, a small like diner restaurant, and the way it was set up is like in that area of Edinburgh, they don't get a lot of foot traffic in the afternoon, so they have to so they'll like shut down temporarily until evening hits, and they'll reopen. So we didn't know that. So we get there like in the middle of the afternoon, and they're just about to close. So they're like, "We're so sorry about that. We're about to shut down. We'll open it up again in a few hours." And they're being polite, very polite. But it's that Scottish dialect, so it's like, shaken, not stirred, So my dad gets so upset. He just goes, "Oh, so we just wasted a cab up here for nothing? Is that what you're telling us?" And they're like, "We're so sorry about that. We'll get you your next cab for you. It's on us." Very, very nice. Very, sweet of them. It's still in Scottish. So it's like, Islander, So my dad just shouts out in the middle of the diner, "I can't understand you." And as an American, that was very embarrassing. But as an African American, very inspiring. It really was, because like for the first time in my life, I got to witness a black person shout at a white person, "Speak English." It was crazy. It was like, wow. Like it's like I was witnessing the Obama inauguration all over again. It was great. All right, I'm gonna close out on this one right here. I hope you guys. Once again, thank you all for coming to the show and supporting comedy on Zoom. And if you can, please support live comedy wherever you live. And if you could, just once, visit an open mic. once. Like, I don't want to torture you. Just visit it, just to see how the sausage is made. It's like a field trip. Because that's where we work out our material. We try to polish it up for like an actual audience, and then you'll see we'll have our books on stage like this, and we'll be reading it like, all right, what we got here? Jaeger, hardly newer. Aha. All right, what else I got? You know what I hate? Russian dolls. They're all full of themselves. All right, let's try something else. Yeah. Well, we got to go through that, we got to do that to get better. And honestly, I feel that's an advantage that comedians get that other public speakers don't get. The open mic, like Martin Luther King never had an open mic. Yeah. Like he never got to be like, I have a dream that one day my children will live in a world. They will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the contents of their character. All right, what else I got? Just trying some new shit. Bear with me. Anybody got a birthday? All right, that's it for me. Thank y'all so much.
Yeah. Yeah, one more time for Aaron McDavis, everybody. I love it. Aaron, that caricature of a comedian that Aaron does an impression of, he came to the mic last night. Aaron, you saw that guy was there. He brought up a notebook and leaned forward and read just one-liners that were just all over the place. And he's booked next week on this show. That's whenever I make fun of a comedian in real life, I'm always like, and that's who's headlining next week. So get ready for it. Yeah, I'll be honest, this poor kid. He went up. Everybody, anyone of you could show up to my open mic, and all of you would get 4.5 minutes, unless you like something so offensive people are gonna like give the bar a bad Google review. That's pretty much the limit there. But this guy went up, and he was not even a minute into his 4.5 minutes, and he's like, "All right, if no one else is feeling it either, I'm not feeling it." And then he just walked off, and I didn't know if it was a bit, so I just stared and didn't go back on stage. I just waited, and I'm like, "Oh no, he's really done. He really only made it a minute. He really didn't realize that his jokes were not funny." Brandon, you said you have gone to open mics. You've done that punishment. You've gone to an open mic.
I like open mics.
You like them?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, you see 2 out of 10 are okay.
Yeah,
and you realize you wasted your time getting an Uber.
That's exactly how comedians feel. Like 2 out of 10 open mics that we go to, we do good at, and then you also wasted paying for parking or an Uber. That it's the same on the audience and the performers. It's the same.
But it's an adventure. It's an adventure.
That is good. I always like when there's random audience members at an open mic, and they'll heckle. They'll say stuff like "be funny," and then I'll have to go and explain to them and be like, as sad as this is the path to getting to funny. Like, this is the terrible, lonely road you have to walk down, the dark, lonely road, and you have to navigate it yourself and watch out for perils and whatnot. But I'm like, yeah, it's not meant for audience, is what I'm trying to get at. Well, Pratik's going to be here in a second. I got a little bit of time to kill, but Pratik's going to be here in a minute. Aaron, do you want to post your Venmo in case anyone wants to send you money to reward you or to get you to stop performing comedy as well? I'm not sure. What was what was your background? Hold on.
It was a background of a festival I did like last year.
Okay. And I like that. I do want to know, are Andre and Lorna still here? I don't think so. I did want to hear how good your Scottish accent was from a Scottish person. I wanted to know.
Oh no!
I wanted to know how good that was.
Oh, no.
But the Scot had signed off. The Scot had left the building.
Yeah, I probably made her sign off.
This is fucking offensive. All right, it is now time. And also, if you like what you see next, I'll be posting his Venmo in the chat as well. Once saw a guy.
Oh, no.
You once saw a drink guy with an insulin pump and an opium. I don't know.
Drunk guy.
Oh yeah, there was drinking there. Last time one comic said I made him nervous because I look like a dad. Okay. There is a lot of comics out there that have like parent issues, like issues with mommy or daddy, that a lot of them do. our bartender had to kick a comic out because he was not being cooperative. But then he said, "Stop being mean to me. You remind me of my mother." And then she's like, "Get the fuck out of here." She's like, "Fucking gone. Get the fuck out of here." So Brandon, if someone says that to you, just kick them out. You could just kick them out. Oh man, you made a comic nervous. That is really fucking weird. That is really strange. Venmo. Okay, I got Aaron McDavis's Venmo, but I'm gonna bring up if our next comedian is ready. I want to see if he's on camera. I think he is. Yeah. All right, we're ready. He's back. Please welcome back. You can see him all over. He has a new special out on YouTube all about the election. He promoted it, and I watched it last week, and it's really funny. William Claude Reynolds was at the recording, so you can enjoy two people from this Zoom if you watch that special. It's about 30 minutes long, perfect for a commute to work or home from work, or walking your dog, or walking your friend's dog, or walking a client's dog, whatever. Just find a fucking dog and put this special on in your headsets. Please welcome back to Chirping Bird.
Hello, everybody. Hi. Yo. Yes, I do have a special. However, after last Tuesday, I'm not calling it an election special anymore because no one's going to want to listen to it. So it's just a special that talks about things. Yeah. We had to redo a little bit of rebranding on that. Yay. How we feeling about after last Tuesday? Yay. Honestly, I feel like the world has turned into like a System of a Down video on loop, and not even the good ones. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot, man. Also, like, I hope at the very least now, like, after the results, like, can we, if you have to apply for a job, can we get in that, hey, have you ever gone to jail question? Like, that should be off every job application ever now, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a fun question. You never get enough space to actually answer that question. Like, that needs to be on the next ballot. Like, not enough space to answer. They only give you 2 lines. You know, oh, did you ever commit a crime? You can't, even if you have that, you can't answer that in 2 lines. You know, you need like at least a paragraph, or you need Morgan Freeman's narration. That's like the only way you can answer that question properly on job application. So you gotta fix that. You know, I have friends that keep telling me, they tell me this after every single election in the past, like, oh man, if so-and-so doesn't win, I'm gonna move to Canada. But they've been saying that for like 12 years now. It's like, dude, if you're gonna move, please move. Like, you know, like if you want to move, how about moving to a swing state so your vote makes more of an impact? You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah.
And that joke works. That joke, I don't even think that's a joke. That joke works about as well as the actual electoral college in our country. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we switch to ranked choice? Like, if I would sign, like, if there's some sort of like political action committee or some sort of lobbyist group for like ranked choice voting, like I'll join that. Like I don't see why we can't try like some like mayoral election in Paducah, Kentucky. Like, just go there and tell them, hey, we're gonna give everybody, you know, $100 of Elon Musk's like birthday fund, and you guys have to vote ranked choice voting for this one election, and just try it. You know, the system's broken. Like the founding fathers put things in the Constitution and said, hey, if things don't work, vote for it and we'll change it. But no one wants to vote for anything, and we're just stuck with the same. Like, the electoral college works about as well as Zoom like camera work. That's basically what it is. Our democracy is a Zoom meeting. That's basically what it is. And I was running late because my thing didn't work. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't work. Polls didn't. I had friends in Texas who were doing the mail-in ballots, and then they just lost their mail-in ballots. I know one person that flew on Spirit Airlines for the first time ever just to get back in time to try to make a difference in that Texas race, and didn't work because Ted Cruz fucking won again. The dude from Shape of Water is running again. Yay. He's the monster. He has scales.
The monster.
He has scales.
Yeah, I'm not sick. I'm just my body is just decaying slowly, you guys. Yeah. My next special will be live from inside an MRI machine. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna put the camera in there, just me like this the whole time, like zoom in on this. That'll be the whole special. It's fine. It's weird though, because at the same time, like everybody's like, oh, this, because now you know what we're doing now. All Democrats are just like, oh, it was Latinos that voted for so and so. It was Macedonians that we're just not, now we're just picking apart every racial group ever. Like they voted for him. No, they voted for him. It's like it's like literally like little foods in like a TV dinner are fighting in each other's little quadrant. Like that's what we're doing. We're just like, no, you did it. No, you did it. That doesn't solve anything. Like it doesn't. Like we all did it. That's who we should. We all fucked up. We didn't correct. You know, that one uncle. I definitely have a couple uncles that probably voted for Trump. You know, and in my case, like I have like uncles that are immigrants, and they're literally like, oh yeah, get rid of those other immigrants, not me. It's the other people. I'm good. I got my one cell phone kiosk at the mall that I'm taking care of. But you know, so and so over there that's running the Dunkin' Donuts, he needs to get out of here. Yeah, which isn't that wild that like in the pantheon of racial stereotypes, like we've tossed around, especially this past year, there have been some amazing stereotypes thrown out there, like space lasers and controlling the media. You know, my people we have controlling Dunkin' Donuts. Like that's a hell of a stereotype. You know what I mean? I would much rather be the racial group that, oh, you have a space laser out there. Like that just seems way cooler than controlling Dunkin' Donuts. And I'll be frank with you, my people have ruined Dunkin' Donuts. All right, like you can't go there anymore. Like you go to a Dunkin' Donuts run by Indian people, like you do. Like, what do you want to pay? $14 for one piece of avocado toast from Dunkin' Donuts, and they show you in the picture, Mark Anthony, they show you two pieces of Dunkin' Donuts on the menu screen. But when you try to pay for it, you don't get two. You don't get two, Larry Fulford. They don't give you two pieces. They show you two, they get one. That's the ultimate bait and switch at Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on baiting and switching. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fucking awful. I just want what I'm paying for. I want two pieces of avocado toast that kind of look like they were like just rubbed against Oscar the Grouch's taint. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all it looks like. It's so green. It doesn't even look like avocado. It's like a little too green for like was Nickelodeon game slime used on the avocado toast? It doesn't look like the right shade of green. It looks greener than Mike Eckert's shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike Eckert, you got the right color avocado toast shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much. It's wild. Like everything is. At the same time, though, like we like to blame, like, oh, it's the red states, the South races. You know, at the same time, though, this year I went to Florida. I mean, Larry Fulford, you know, you had that show in Orlando. That was a cool. Like, there are cool parts of other parts of the country. Like, red states have cool parts too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be racist in blue states too. I've noticed. Like, I did shows in Alabama, and everybody was just like, you're going to take that beard, that face, your ethnicity, you're going to go to Alabama, you're going to get called a terrorist, you're not going to have fun. I had the best time in Alabama. No one called me a terrorist. I was drinking moonshine with white dudes named Merlin. It was amazing, all right? Yeah. I was drinking some good old moonshine. It was fun. And then right after that trip, I didn't go back to L.A. I went back to Chicago, and I visited my family, and I visited these cousins that I haven't seen in forever. Walk in the room. The first thing they say when I walk in the room is, Pratik, you look like the leader of ISIS. So you know what I'm saying? Like, this is liberal Chicago doing this, not Alabama. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. This is not a handkerchief. This is me just throwing in the surrender. I'm surrendering for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand anymore. Like, it's all wild. Like, it's you know, you go. I can't even, like, I've done shows with, like, you know, these like Nashville frat boys, and they're the best fucking time ever. And then I try to do a show, and it's like MoveOn.org, and then I get there, and it's like there's these old like hippie Democrat dudes, like you would think they would be cool, like you think they were like the roadie for like Jimmy Buffett or something. And then they get there and just like, so tell me about the Bhagavad Gita. I'm like, dude, I'm not King Bhagavad Gita. I can't tell you shit, right? We'll take a world religion class at your lyrical learning annex. I'm not here for it. Like the cool old white dude that you think is gonna like, oh yeah, I have a story about like John F. Kennedy. They're the ones who are being racist, you know? And then the frat boys, they're like, hey, Pratik, you want some whiskey for free? Hey, we'll pay you for whiskey. And I'm like, this is cool. Like, I'm having fun. Oh, you're paying for my chicken tenders as well? Hell yeah. Oh, and then turns out they're the CEO of Chick-fil-A, and we can get free Chick-fil-A for life, but it's Chick-fil-A, but I don't want to, but it's also free. And I'm about to literally get on a little, like, Spirit airline. I'm not even getting the free, like, nice, like, leg room. No, it's literally like I'm literally flying Spirit Airlines, but I don't even get a seat. I have to fly under the seat with the personal items. So yeah, I will take the free chicken tenders from wherever they come from. I don't know. Like the chicken tenders are probably like dipped in like Coke Brother like jizz. You know what I'm saying? It's like Republican chicken tender jizz. But I will take that because I don't have a seat on this flight, and I gotta take this flight all the way to somewhere in like Ohio. It's probably Canton, Ohio, and I got to perform for this Indian doctor's birthday party, and that's the only way I can pay for my health insurance so that I can go and get this one thing looked at. It's like this one weird mole, and it hasn't been looked at in 2 years. You know why? Because every time I go to the doctor, they're like, "Oh, okay, you have to pay like this copay." And then there's this out-of-pocket expense, and it's like $600 out of pocket. Okay, great. You told me that. Fine. I give you my Amex card. You swipe it. That's it, right? No, they were literally in the middle of the examining room. This guy comes in with another Squarespace fucking like square thing. He's like, oh, actually, Blue Cross, fuck you, insurance was just like, hey, you got to pay a little bit more. So it's cost me $1,000 for some old dude to like just look at a mole and say it probably isn't cancerous. Like it's all so yeah, I'm gonna eat Chick-fil-A. That's basically what that means. Is I will eat the sauce of Chick-fil-A. That's probably something, evil boogeyman or whatever. Like there's a Japanese comic in Chicago, very funny, Saku Yanagawa. He's very funny. He had like an esophageal like he had to get like a second opinion on a surgical thing. It cost him cheaper to fly back to Japan to get a doctor to look at it than to get somebody in Chicago look at it. That's how fucking fucked up health insurance is right now. I spent 3 hours. Why do you think my voice is so hoarse today? I've been on the phone with 3 different dental offices today. I've been trying to get like someone just like just power wash I want someone to power wash my gums. I'm ready to go to the car wash and get someone just turtle wax my gums at this point because I've been to 3 different dental offices. No one's doing anything. They're like, oh, actually, we need like $700 up front right now just for me to book an appointment in January. Like literally, if I want to get an appointment in January, I gotta pay someone $700 right now, and then maybe they'll look at it. And of course, none of our candidates talked about it. We literally had 6 minutes of a debate spent on golf. You know what I'm saying? Like no one talked about healthcare. They talked about golf. That's important issues. I'm like, if you want to talk about a sport, talk about pickleball. That's some white people should talk about that for 5 minutes. Don't talk about golf or talk about axe throwing. That's at least fun. At least I got to go to axe because you know what axe throwing is, right? Axe throwing is a sport that people do when they're at a comedy festival, and that's the only thing they can afford to give the comedians at the comedy festival for free is axe throwing. So I am pro axe throwing. I will stay at any axe throwing. If you book me in your town to come see you, I will stay in the axe throwing facility. I will just put me underneath the axes. I'll fit right in there. I'll tuck my beard to the upright lock position. That's all I'm saying. Just put me in a hutch. I'll stay in a cupboard. I don't care how racist it is. It's fine. It's okay. Just put me wherever. Hotels are too expensive now. It's fine. I have Motel 6 gold reward points. That's how sad my hotel is. They have rewards for Motel 6. It's terrible. Motel 7.5. That's your gold star program for Motel 6. It's terrible. Oh man. I didn't take a breath during any of that. That was wild, right? Yeah. Tired. It's a whole thing, man. It's wild. It's at the same time, like, it's funny. As soon as I was in Pennsylvania, like 20 minutes away from when the assassination attempt happened. Like it was yeah. Like I was literally eating like some like hoagie or whatever, some like Pennsylvania like fat man sandwich or whatever. I'm just chomping down. We hear the news. We hear like a Black Hawk helicopter. It's going just vroom, 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 all that stuff's going on. I'm just sitting there eating. I'm like, hey, it's fucked. It's like, and then you see they released the headshot of like the dude who tried to shoot Donald Trump. He looks like 12 different open micers. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen that face at every. I'm sure Larry and Mark, you've seen that face come there. And they're like, oh, what am I up? And it looks like the guy who always asks when he's up next. And if you're running the open mic, he will literally rip the list from your hands because he's got to know exactly when he needs to go up and tell that one Tinder joke that he actually read on an email 10 days ago. Like, that's it. And that one joke, that's going to get him everywhere. He's probably going to get on Kill Tony that way, and he'll probably get like 9,000 followers from that. And that's okay because that's the mark of our industry now is going on that show for it's 1 minute of entertainment. It's like make or break. It's the axe throwing of comedy. That's basically what it is. It's like just you throw it and it hits it and you'll do it. And that's it, I don't know. Who am I to there are people on Kill Tony that can headline stadiums, and meanwhile I'm like, hey, come see me at the Canton Armory. I'm like that broken down wrestler that Mickey Rourke fought in the movie The Wrestler. Remember the hardcore Necro Butcher who had like the staple gun? That's who I am in comedy. I'm the Necro Butcher equivalent of comedy. That's what I am. Like come see me at an armory. I'll have my trusty staple gun with me. It's fine. It's good. Yeah. This set is sponsored by BetterHelp.com. That's what this it's wild. I've used BetterHelp twice. Both times the therapist gave me the light. They were like, you're going too long here, buddy. Yo, literally one therapist, he ended the session early. He's like, I was sharing something about childhood immigrant trauma or something. He was like, your set's giving me anxiety. I got to go. Like literally he wrapped up. He just went out the room. The second therapist I used on BetterHelp.com, this is all real. They literally told me, I was talking about something. I mentioned my sister. They're like, oh, is your sister so-and-so? She was my sorority, she was my big sister in the sorority. Turns out like this was like a mentee of my sister. She's like, this is a conflict of interest. I have to leave now. Bye. So yeah, we're done with BetterHelp.com. Not using that anymore. But also, they don't take insurance. It's just a flat out it's the flat rate fee. It really I don't even know who is accredited on there. Like I feel like it's just all the people who don't get picked for Kill Tony. They put in their names in the bucket for BetterHelp.com to become the accredited therapist on BetterHelp.com. It's fine. We'll just I'll just keep reading. I checked out. I actually I did this that was really cool this week. Is I went and I restarted my library card. Yeah, I want to do before libraries are outlawed next year. I'm like, let me go to the local library. And so I went to my local library. You can like rent a 3D printer at your local library. Do you guys know that? Like, whoa, man, like back in the day, it was just like you can get a stuffed book or like a Goosebump book, or maybe you could use the photocopier, or maybe you could go like on 3 different websites maybe. But you can actually rent a 3D printer now from the library. Like, man, like that's cool. So that's going away because anything fun, nope, can't pay for that anymore. We gotta pay for Barron Trump's erectile dysfunction medication or something. He's tall now. You see him? Like you see a picture of him? He's fucking he looks like he's ready to star in Hangover: The New Generation. You know what I'm saying? Like in the Bradley Cooper role or something. He's a slim guy, you guys. He's fun. No, it's fine. I'll go live in like London or something. Let's go live in like I'll break into the Queen's dead. I can't really break into her room anymore. But I'll find a place. We'll figure something out. If there's a cottage somewhere, I'll go find it. I'll go like one of those or like where I'll go live. I figured it out. And this is me not just talking off the top of my head. This is legitimate. I figured out. I'm gonna find where the Keebler elves live. I'm gonna go live with them. I think that'll be good. I think I would fit in with the Keebler elves tree. Would have some fun. I like baked goods. I've never really been good at cooking, but I feel like the elves, Pop Elf, he'll tell me a little bit. We'll figure it out, and I'll start making things. And I like crackers with either chocolate or cheese on them, so I think I would do well. I'd be a good Keebler elf apprentice. So come find me performing in a town near you and staying at the Keebler elf tree. We'll have a good time. Maybe we'll film a reality show there, and it'll be good. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go live with the Keebler elves. I think that'll be a good time. I gotta get out of Chicago. I don't. Chicago's as segregated as it gets this cutesy rap of being like, hey, blue state, and we're liberal. Some of the most segregated and racist people live in Chicago. Like, make no mistake about it. It's wild. Like, I've had more racist shit said to me in Chicago than anywhere else in the world. It's wild. Like, people always assume you go to London and, British influence, imperialism, they're going to talk down to you. But they have some of the best brown people food ever. They do kebabs really well, and none of the rubbery lamb shit that you get in Chicago. Like, you can get, like, good, smooth kebabs with, like, really good hot sauce. You go to the TSA at Heathrow Airport, and the brown dudes at the TSA airport, they're like the head of the TSA at Heathrow Airport in London, he's got a bigger beard than mine. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like King TSA. He's got the longest beard ever. Like they're cool. Like if I could, I'll try to find some like Oliver Twist orphanage and be like the wise old janitor. I'll go work there. I'll do that. Just go live in London for a couple of years. I think that would be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like just something. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just find another Merlin white dude somewhere and I'll go live with him. We'll just homemade moonshine every day. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure it out. Tell a couple jokes. Pop into DCC William Claude Reynolds at Fat Pete's Barbecue. Like every just couple of years, just check in, do one little thing there, and then go back to the Keebler Elf Tree, make a little moonshine with Merlin, do something. You know, let this beard grow out even more. You know what I'm saying? Like at one point, I'll just come in. You'll see me on Zoom. Next year, I'll have like it'll just be, the whole beard will take over. It'll just look like this the whole time. That's all you'll see. Like, this is my spirit animal, just like this. This holds this sea of black. By the way, if you want to show tolerance to minorities, just put this as your profile screen on Facebook. That's how you show. This is white guilt right here. This is all it is. It's fine. I don't even, like, it's not even like, oh, white people are racist. It's not even about that, because like dude, I've had like the most racism I've experienced has not even been from white people. It's been literally like Somalian Uber drivers with like 2 stars. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always some weird Uber driver asking me like, "Oh, you're Indian? Are you going to tip me?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not going to tip you after you ask that question." Like that is a direct line to no, I will not tip you. You know what I'm saying? Like I had this one driver who he was definitely like from some other country, and I get in the car and we're sitting there. He's screaming into his 2002 earpiece. You know what I'm saying? Not like earpods. No, like the old like earpiece from 2002 that gives you all the brain cancer in the world. You know what I'm talking about? Like those super loud ones. He's yelling into his earpiece. So we're not having a conversation. This ain't one of those like, hey, put your conversation topics in the kiosk and we'll talk to you about it. Like, no, we ain't doing anything. So I'm on my phone. I'm looking like this. I'm detached from the world. The ride starts. It's a smooth enough ride. It's going well. At one point, like the car slowly like shifts, and I'm like, "Oh, are we changing lanes?" I look up. We are about to veer into oncoming traffic in the other lane. So naturally, I don't want to get into an accident. So I voice my concern to the driver, and I don't yell. I don't curse. All I say is, "Excuse me, sir. You might want to watch out." He looks up quickly, like turns the car around. We do some weird like Michael Bay 360 Jason Statham move, which doesn't look like we're gonna hit anything, but it's not a fun move. We literally are just spinning in a circle at this point. So naturally, again, not cursing, not yelling. All I do is go, "Sir, do you just mind maybe getting off the phone and just making sure we're safe?" And the thing that he says next to me is, "If you don't like the way I'm driving, you can take the bus next time." That's literally what he said. He does not like that I voiced my displeasure for this weird, again, action movie maneuvering that we are in now. I happen to look up and I realize he might have been on the phone, but he also had like a second. It might have been like either a second phone or something. He's got a second phone, and I see on the hands-free like thing what he's looking at. Do you know what he's looking at on the second phone? It's a BuzzFeed article titled, "Where is the cast of the Mighty Ducks now?" Like, that's what he needed to know. While he's yelling into somebody into the earpiece and driving me along. He just needed to know where Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks is right now. That's what he needs to know. And the thing is, I've actually done shows in LA with Goldberg from Mighty Ducks. He's doing better, all right? He's climbed out of the negative hole. He's climbed out of the pit of despair. He's actually doing better than he was 5 years ago. He's fine. He's also half Indian, which I don't know if you guys knew that. Yeah, Goldberg from Mighty Ducks, a.k.a. Shaun White, he's half Indian. So this whole time in my childhood, instead of people saying "thank you, come again" and making fun of me, they should have been saying "quack, quack, quack." Because I think that would have been way more representation. It's funny though, one time I was doing a show with him and we were trying to figure out the flyer, and he said, "Hey man, can you not put me on the flyer?" I said, "Oh, are you trying to be like a secret guest drop-in?" And he said, No. I owe money to people in Santa Monica, so I don't want them knowing I'm coming here. I'm like, man, that's some grown man shit. That's that. I don't want people to know. That's gonna be me. I'm gonna be like the comedy just nomad. That's what's happening. I know like Kanane bought like a bus and drove around. Like I think we might have to do that now. We're getting to the point where it's like just rent a bus and just go park away somewhere. We're getting to that point now. I think we're gonna get to a point like remember like at the beginning of Aladdin where like we had like pots and pans and they're just like pulling their donkey along. Like I think we're gonna go back to that. I think a little bit. We're getting to that point now. We're gonna go back to the barter system. I think when the financial markets collapse because Elon Musk turns everything into like some weird like we're gonna our currency will just turn into it's gonna be the chocolate coins from Hanukkah. That'll just be our currency from now on. When the gold doesn't back up anything anymore, we're gonna go to barter system. And you know what? I'm fine with the barter system. It worked well for the Native Americans. Am I right? Like that barter system worked well. Yeah. And by the way, that joke worked great at casinos. They love when I joke about Native Americans at the casinos. They love that, dude. It's wild. I did a casino gig and I was like looking to find like, okay, they say that Native indigenous people run the casinos. Let me meet some indigenous people at the casino. You get there trying to see a manager or like, hey, I'm like, hey, where's the head? I didn't want to say where's the chief of the casino. That sounds racist. I don't want to do that. Well, I'm like, where's the manager? And it's this dude comes down. He's whiter than Mark Anthony. It's this white dude comes down. And I'm like, oh, are you the manager? He's like, yeah. My name is Steve Sitting Bull. I'm like, what? What's your name? And he's like, yeah, Steve Sitting Bull. I'm like, okay, what tribe are you from? And he said, I'm part of the tribe Jeep Grand Cherokee. I'm like, that's not a real tribe, Steve. Like, you can get out of here, bud. Turns out, yeah, there is no tribe. It's fine. It's wild. I actually dated an Native American woman for a while. It was in November. It was right on Thanksgiving, actually. And it's cool because we did this thing in our family. We actually had like, it was kind of like this like reverse Thanksgiving where we got like a turkey and stuffed it full of like my people spices, which is what the people wanted to do, but didn't do because they were bad at geography. You know what I'm saying? We just call that shit reverse Thanksgiving. It's amazing. Yeah. And actually, you know what happens on reverse Thanksgiving? The blankets make you stronger on reverse Thanksgiving. It's amazing. She liked that joke, actually. Yeah. Shout out to her. She was cool. And also, she never hogged the blankets at bedtime. It was amazing. I always got enough comforters. It was great. Cool. All right. It's fine. Yeah. All right. I just noticed Edward is in the Pee Wee Playhouse set. You know what? Of all your backgrounds, Edward, that might be my favorite background ever. I pray. I would, you know what? I would go live, if there was an actual Pee Wee's Playhouse, I would go live there. I think that'll be my sanctity for the next 4 years. Go sit on, just hide underneath Cherry for like the next 4 years. That's what I'm going to do. Water the puppet flowers, hang out with Jambi the Genie, maybe see, I know it sounds racist that, my head should be the Jambi the Genie head, but I think that'd be really cool. You know, I don't have to worry about taking care of this body. I can just donate this body to science. They can fix whatever problems are there with it. It's going to be a tune-up, whatever. Put my head on John the Genie. I live in that box. Anytime someone needs me, just knock on that box. I'll come out. I'll tell you a joke. Okay. No more people of the elf tree. No more living under the thing. I figured out my new goal in life. Be the next John the Genie and live in Pee Wee's Playhouse. We figured it out, everybody. That's what I'm going to do for the next 4 years. We did it, everybody. Yes. We figured out my sanctity. It's fine. As long as we can get HBO Max in that Genie box, that's all I need. All I need is HBO Max. That's all I want. I just want to watch whenever that Penguin movie comes out, because it's probably going to be a movie also, and the show, and just King of the Hill reruns. I don't think those are on Max. So we have to feed in Hulu Plus, ad-free, of course, and HBO Max in the Genie box, and I'll be safe. And we'll get through it together. We'll figure it out. Any other places you want me to stay? Put them in the Twitch chat. How have the Twitch comments been, Mark? Anything interesting on there?
There's a lot of conversations with they were trying to figure out where the Keebler elves live. Somebody was talking about the Mighty Ducks after you did.
The Mighty Ducks are cool.
We're talking about MRI.
I think Sean Weiss actually this is real, by the way. I'll give you a little comedy tour tea. I think Sean Weiss is trying to go on tour with the guy from Big Green, the goalie from Big Green, like the goalie from Big Green and the goalie from the Mighty Ducks. What's that actor's name or whatever? He's like white, but he's got like orange hair, ginger kind of guy. So I think those two goalies are going on tour. So yeah, so wherever they go on tour, go see them on Twitch. Maybe they'll be at the Keebler Elf Tree. We'll figure. Hey, Paducah, Kentucky, Keebler Elf Tree, and 2 goalies, 1 cup. Yeah, coming soon. Some cruise Brandon just wrote some cruise lines are offering a 4-year cruise if you just want to check out for life for a bit. Yeah, I wouldn't. I've done some cruise gigs before, and you know what? Yeah, I wouldn't. Maybe if they take care of accommodation and you are insured on the cruise, it's key. Because I know my one buddy, he was doing cruise comic, but he got injured. He went off the cruise to do one of the excursions, and he got injured on the land. They didn't cover it. They said, you're not on the cruise. You're not getting covered. Man, that's that loophole. So that's the thing with those cruise lines. You got to be careful. They only cover insurance on the cruise, not when you step on mainlands. You got to be careful about that. You don't want to end up paying $4,000, and then you got to go to dental college to get your teeth looked at. You got to talk to a Gen Zer to get your teeth fixed. I got to know who Little Uzi Vert is so that you can fix my cavity. That happened when I went ziplining. No, thank you. I don't need that. Thank you, Princess Caribbean Cruise, for that. Princess Caribbean Cruise. Great cruise line, by the way. They paid me in buffet passes. It was wild. I as long as I don't have your fault diabetes, that's all that matters to me. Just give me the other one. I like my feet are cool. I might have to start selling feet pics. So that's why I need my feet, not for walking, just for the feet pics. You know what I'm saying? It's wild. All right, I'll wrap this up. This has been a fun therapy session. All right, I'm gonna go find the cow that Mike Eckert made his couch into. I'm gonna find that cow. I'm just gonna ride on that cow. We're gonna ride off into the sunset. You know what I'm saying? But seriously, before I do. Shout out to the comics you saw, Larry Fulford. I think Aaron McDavis left, but give up to Aaron. Got to Mark. Support, like Mark said earlier, support those comics. Support if you like any of the comics on KO Comedy, follow their Instagrams, follow their social medias, because unfortunately this industry is very like, hey, what are your social media followers? And they like social media accounts now. They're very obsessed with our numbers. So if you like someone, you got to support them through the social medias. So support their Instagrams. Keep going to live comedy while we're still allowed to have live comedy. Keep going to those live shows as well. Keep going to these Zoom shows. I know KO Comedy does shows every day of the week. So keep supporting all that stuff. And yeah, let's have fun. I don't know if somebody tried to say something just now. So yeah, what's happening. This is basically a TED Talk now. This is a town hall meeting. So what did that person want to say? What was going on there?
I think it was just someone fucking with their microphone.
Oh, okay. So some microphone fuckery. Well, we know about that microphone. We know about that technology fuckery. It's fine. Yeah. Support the comics. Do what we gotta do. We joke that comedy's getting outlawed. No, we'll find a way to do it. We'll do it in every parking lot ever. We did during the pandemic. There were parking lot shows. It was we'll find somewhere to tell these jokes. I sounded very negative, but no, we'll find a way to do these jokes. I'll find 20 barbecue restaurants. I'll have shows in the Beard. We'll figure something out. We'll get through these 4 years together somehow. You know what I'm saying? If I'll dance in the Keebler Elf Tree, I'll dance in the Johnny Genie Box, I'll dance in the Pee Wee's Playhouse, I'll dance on the cruise line, I'll go to the Dunkin' Donuts, and I will get myself 2 pieces of avocado toast. One way or another, it's going to be a 2-for-1 special, everybody, and we will get out of here and we'll have some fun. We might have to barter for a couple of years. We might have to figure out the financial markets. I mean, I think the fact that everybody's like, oh, you can get an NFC token or something. Like, yeah, we might bring back Pogs. I think we might have our stock market just be a game of Pogs or some shit. We might have to do that for a couple of years, but we'll weather through it. We'll figure it out. I'll pretend to be a college Republican. I've done it before. I was the Jane Goodall living with college Republicans. I did that for 2 years. I can pretend to be a college Republican for 2 years as well. We'll figure it out. But yeah, everybody, keep hope alive. Try to drink some water. Listen to a little System of a Down. Listen to a little Punjabi metal, and have some fun. And thank you guys for listening. And I didn't take a breath this entire time. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. One more time for Fatigue, everybody. Let him breathe. I'm looking for
Let him breathe. Let me take a breath.
Yeah, he's breathing.
Yeah, maybe don't say let me breathe. That's a connotation to something else. But yeah, I took a breath. Let me clear my throat. Yeah, I did that.
There we go. I do want to thank everybody that performed tonight. Larry Fulford over here. I'm pointing at where they are on the bar above my head. It might not be the same for you. Aaron McDavis right here. I'm tickling him a little bit.
Oh, Aaron is on. Hell yeah. I didn't know you're still on. Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, Pratik's around over here, and Aaron is on catching you too.
Oh, Mark, tell everybody. So in the group chat for this, he said, hey, guys, prepare 12 to 30 minutes. That's a hell of a comedy range, you guys. Give it up for that.
Yeah,
Of all the
that's how
group chats
some
for a
goes.
comedy show, I've never seen the range 12 minutes to 30 minutes. That's insane. I love that.
Whatever you're feeling, man. No pressure. You know, I could tell stories in between. That's how it goes.
I actually thought that was a typo.
No. It was obviously 12 to 20. No, it was 12 to 30. That was completely fine. Larry's like, I would have done 30 then. I didn't want to look greedy.
I was going to ask for 10, and I was like, 12? I don't know.
It's like prepare 10 minutes to your entire Netflix special.
Yeah. Just aren't you all working on specials? Just do a dry run. Just
do a dry run right now. This is
do the
dry
whole
run.
thing. Critique the election special. Just redo the whole thing right here.
Yeah, just redo it. I'll put the link in the chat if people want to.
Yeah, check it out.
Maybe it'll make you feel good. I don't know. I don't. It's not too like election-y. There's a couple things out there. There's other stuff in there too. But yeah,
I was saying I watched it on the way home from work on election night. I was driving home from work and I watched it. And that was before any polls had closed, so there wasn't any.
Thank God you weren't an Uber driver veering into oncoming traffic.
So I highly recommend. Now that we know the election results, it probably does hit a little bit different. That is the change. The branding change makes sense. Abigail Hydrangea Brown said, "Yay, Pratik," when you were signing off. Dizzy Death was clapping and saying hype. Just pointing that out. So there you go. No, but thanks for doing this. We got this next week. We got a bunch of comedians coming on as well. I'll see you next Monday. I guarantee it. Bye-bye. Good night. See you, Chirping Bird.
Night.